What's up everybody, it is I, Hero Ranger, and welcome to the very first episode of Does It Work? And today, we're gonna check out BATTLEBILL'S meta line with Giratina, Swampert, and Cresselia. I'm gonna use BATTLEBILL'S meta line in all 5 of my sets. I'm gonna show you the score and the rating for all of the sets, and I'm gonna share with you the battles from the best set. And we're doing all of this to check, does it work? This is my rating right now. It's 2161. Let's get into the video. This right here is the result of the first set. I went down. I got 2 wins, 3 losses, and I went down 13 points. I'm currently at 2148. This right here is the second set, and this is the set that I'm sharing with you. So this is the best set out of all 5. All right. So the first matchup is Dragon Breath Giratina, and note that BATTLEBILL prefers the Dragon Breath form of Giratina because there's a lot of dark types, Alolan Muck, Shift Tree, and it does a little bit better with the Dragon Breath compared to the Shadow Sneak, which is resisted. Alright, so for this matchup right here, Giratina versus Swampert, since you have the Dragon Breath Giratina, you actually have no chance of losing this in the one shield scenario. Now the play here, in an ideal situation, is to throw 2 Dragon Claws and then farm down with Dragon Breath. You don't have to throw the third one just in case you get to it because it's gonna be at very low health. You can save that Dragon Claw for, I guess, chip damage on the next Pokemon. Unfortunately, because I probably lost a couple of fast attacks somewhere along the line, or IVs, I am not gonna get to the third Dragon Claw. This is actually the second Dragon Claw. So after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to Dragon Breath down. And also, the best case scenario is if you are able to block the Earthquake, which right here, I was not able to do. What I blocked was a Hydro Cannon, right? Also, interesting thing is, in the simulations, Swampert only gets to 2 charge attacks. So 1 Hydro Cannon, 1 Earthquake. So somewhere along the line, I lost a couple of fast attacks there. But yeah, it is what it is. Stuff and things happen, right? So anyways, I get the switch advantage. At least I have my Cresselia lined up to his Giratina. And this is a very good matchup. Just note that this is the Dragon Breath Giratina, which is so much worse compared to the Shadow Claw version versus Cresselia. Now, just for your information, because there's, it's impossible now, but just for your information, if you double block your Giratina, Shadow Claw Giratina, right, versus Cresselia, you can kind of risk it for the biscuit for the win. You can beat it. The win condition though is you have to not get the Moonblast debuff. Very important, right? So you can kind of like play it and then until you get the Moonblast debuff and then swap out, but still save like both in like the back of your head, save both of your shields for your Giratina, you will be able to beat Cresselia. And actually, you're gonna come out with a big chunk of health like that. If you double block, don't get the Moonblast. But again, it's a gamble, right? But it's better than, just taking it and losing, right? Just in case. That's something you can, hold on to. Now, this is an amazing situation. I just burned his last shield with my Swampert. I was going to get that Hydro Cannon, but I guess there was a little bit of lag, but it doesn't really matter. We're good. We got the Moonblast, we got the shield advantage. This is a very basic match. I just had the control the whole time. I had the advantage. I had every advantage, switch advantage, energy advantage since he would swap in, and also shield advantage all the way up to the end. So yeah, nothing really much to talk about, but takeaways from these battles. 1, for Dragon Breath Giratina versus Swampert, just throw 2 Dragon Claws, Dragon Breath down, throw the next the Dragon Claw on the next Pokemon, and then for Shadow Claw Giratina, you can risk it for the biscuit just in case you get lined up to a Cresselia. You can block twice and then hope and pray that you don't get the Moonblast debuff. If you can do that, you come out on top with a lot of HP. So yeah, GG's to my first opponent, and that was game number 1. The second match has a very interesting Pokemon. It's not the lead Pokemon. The lead Pokemon is actually, I'm not too sure how good Gallade is in Ultra League, but the swap-in is a very good Pokemon for Ultra League. Escavalier. Escavalier loses to Giratina straight Shadow Sneak. So I'm still gonna be able to take the switch advantage. Now, something that I could have done here was I could have swapped into Swampert. The thing is, Escavalier can actually kill Swampert if it baits me with a Drill Run and then lands the Mega Horn. So that would have been riskier, right? At least with this, I can keep the switch advantage, right? And align the Gallade properly to my Cresselia because I don't want it aligned to my Swampert because Gallade has Leaf Blade, right? I actually didn't know that at this time. I just figured that out after, studying these matches, analyzing all these stuff and things. But it was good that I hesitated to swap to Swampert because he might have taken the switch advantage. It's actually very risky to swap in your Swampert on an Escavalier because it's very close. It gets to Mega Horn like in 1 or 2 fast attacks, just straight Mega Horn. So it will kill you if you swap in. So just some stuff to think about. Now, this is also a lot safer because I get to keep the switch advantage. Hence, I get to see which Pokemon swaps in. And that's very important for this match because one of my Pokemon loses to Gallade. Okay, Swampert, Leaf Blade. Okay? So, the ideal situation is if this Pokemon swapping in is something that I can beat with Swampert, that would be amazing. If it was a Alolan Muk, even better, right? But it's actually Swampert, which is actually fine because even if my Swampert isn't gonna be able to beat this Swampert since he has the energy advantage, I'll still be able to get it down pretty low, basically clearing the threat. He also doesn't know what my third Pokemon is, so he's like theorizing in his head like, what could he have in the back? Do I need to save my Swampert? What if it's a Registeel that he has in the back? So this whole situation is really great. I'm actually gonna save my shield. I'm not gonna block his Hydro Cannon. It's up to him if he wants to save his Swampert, right? He could because, he's maybe thinking like Registeel in the back, but I have Cresselia, which beats both of his Pokemon, and since his Gallade is packing the confusion, this is great. Alright, I resist the confusion. This guy is part fighting, so a Moonblast is still super effective, and yeah, much safer compared to if I swapped in the Swampert, right? So that's definitely something to think about. If something swaps in on you that you beat, right? If you went from like a winning match to another winning match, do you have to swap out? Do you have to... Maybe if it's something that you hard counter with something in the back, but in this scenario, I feel like this was the best play. But I guess you can also say that if I swapped out my Giratina, both of his Pokemon lose to both of my Pokemon in the back, right? But that's in hindsight, right? That's because you know that Swampert is his last Pokemon, right? But what if it was a Alolan Muk? What if it was Snorlax, right? And what if he aligned his Snorlax to my Giratina? Because, Escavalier killed my Swampert or something like that, right? I feel like this is the play, the smarter play, the safer play. But what I actually think this is, plus the previous match is this person and the previous opponent probably doesn't have a lot of Stardust because they're using very weird Pokemon that you can actually find in the wild with decently high CP, right? So it kind of like saves you the dust, you just evolve and you play. But Ultra League is very, very hard to play without without the Metamons because of this Pokemon right here, Cresselia. Cresselia just stops so many things. So yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. Just grind up. It's kind of like part of the game. And yeah, GG. Second game. This third match, man, I hate this. I hate this so much because I played so bad and my opponent actually played really well, which is actually very, very rare. You don't really lose a lot of matches in Ultra League getting outplayed and stuff. Most of the time you just win because you align properly or like you take back the advantage somehow, but you don't really like completely get outplayed like this. You'll see what I mean, okay? So we had Giratina Origin versus Giratina Altered on the lead matchup. My Dragon Breath Giratina Altered form beats Origin. Now, Shadow Claw Giratina Altered form can lose to Giratina Origin form if it can land the Shadow Ball. Okay? That's why he didn't swap out immediately. He was checking the fast attack, alright? So he checked the fast attack, he saw Dragon Breath, and since Dragon Breath beats Giratina Origin, he swaps to Togekiss. So this guy knows his stuff, right? You can tell right away that he knows his stuff. Now, he swapped in his Togekiss in the hopes that I don't have a Steel type. And I don't have a Steel type, I have Cresselia. And since Cresselia is a much softer counter to Togekiss, he double blocks his Togekiss, which is actually very smart. He regains the switch advantage, which is not great it's not great. Now, I still have the shield advantage, but if he has something in the back that kind of like hard counters something, right? He can align it properly and basically make back those 2 shields. Now, this works really well in Great League because Pokemon there get really absolutely hard countered, like Altaria, Bastiodon type situation. But in Ultra League, it's not as bad. It's honestly like not as bad as Great League because the Pokemon are a lot tankier, and also they still hit, you know, decently hard. So even if, let's say, my Cresselia got aligned to, I don't know, Heatran, I could still do like a hefty amount with resisted damage, okay? So right here, I farmed down the Giratina Origin, and I was expecting the Togekiss, but out comes Charizard, and this is smart because he's preventing more damage to his Togekiss. What he wants to do is deal most of the damage with his Togekiss. He's trying to save the Togekiss, and right here, this is amazing. And this is actually why I feel like I got completely outplayed. I'm unsure if he was counting or if it just aligned the right way, but this is crazy. He throws a Dragon Claw, he swaps into Togekiss, just as I throw the resisted Dragon Claw. Now, if you run the simulations, Shadow Sneak still does a considerable amount of damage. And since most Togekiss are not gonna block Giratina, most, right? It still does like a significant amount of damage over the battle. And if I had the Shadow Sneak hit the Togekiss instead of the Charizard, and the Dragon Claw on the Charizard instead of the Togekiss, this would not have happened. I forgot that his Charizard threw the Dragon Claw just as he swapped out. I forgot, and I was thinking that if I got hit with the Dragon Claw, that would be GG. I just could not remember how much energy it had, so I was trying to get 2 Hydro Cannons, which obviously I did not get, plus also balance the fast attack damage, and I failed to do that. It was impossible. All I had to do was just remember that he threw the Dragon Claw before he swapped out. But it is what it is. I got completely outplayed by my opponent. GG. The 4th match is very interesting. Very interesting. Now, the lead match, amazing. Heracross. So, with the fighting moves, I double resist that because I'm a ghost type, right? It just goes through, okay? He swaps in the Shadow Claw Giratina. And I was thinking, should I swap out into Cresselia to try to fight this off? He's gonna have the energy advantage, plus again, you know, reminding you, you can double block your Shadow Claw Giratina to beat Cresselia, but you know, it's a risk. You have to not get the Moonblast debuff. So I was thinking, right, I was just giving it some time. I mean, I had, you know, the advantage, but then I realized that maybe I should swap out because Heracross has Mega Horn, right? And Mega Horn, I'm not sure how much damage it's gonna do to Cresselia, but I don't want to find out. Alright, so I swapped to my Cresselia. Giratina versus Heracross is probably like a much better matchup anyway. Plus, since I threw a couple of Dragon Breaths plus a Dragon Claw, I don't think this Giratina is gonna be able to turn the tide, right? So I'm just going straight Moonblast, and he takes it. Alright, he just goes down. His final Pokemon is Swampert, so this is GG. This is a really good situation for me. But something really interesting happens, guys. This is not just a very clear-cut match, right? It's not just, oh, Cresselia overpowers all 3 Pokemon that he has. That's actually the case. But something really interesting happens. I feel like my opponent did not time it. Or I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure. But it's very interesting what happens. Now, he gets the debuff right here, and he's gonna charge up over a Hydro Cannon. I actually don't understand what's happening with my opponent here. I was thinking that he's not gonna throw, he's just gonna charge up because Psycho Cut doesn't really do a lot of damage, and then swap out to his Heracross, I guess, to remove the debuff or something. I don't know, that would be the best case scenario, I guess, for him, but this is a horrible situation. But just now, he threw a Hydro Cannon, and he charged up like on the CMP side. He threw on the CMP side, and right here, this is gonna be really interesting. He swaps out to catch the Moonblast, the super effective Moonblast on his Heracross. That's kind of like a reverse sack swap, right? You usually like try to sack swap to catch with resisted Pokemon, right? Like, if you're gonna get hit with a Sky Attack, you try to catch it with like a Bastiodon. That was the complete opposite, and I'm just mind mind blown, guys. I'm mind blown. Like, how? Why? Dude, to tell you the truth, I could not stop laughing. It just blew my mind that he actually, reverse sack swap. But I mean, he maybe probably did not time it, but it's so weird. Like, it felt like he knew when to throw, because he threw on the CMP tie, right? With the Swampert, and then when to swap out. It's so weird. I don't understand it really. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, why did I use the Swampert to fight the Heracross? Because now I have a double shielded Giratina against, his leftover chewed Swampert, and yeah, we good. I don't have to play energy battles with his Swampert. Sometimes I still lose the energy battle versus Swampert, even if I had the energy advantage, because you lose a couple of fast attacks here and there. It happens in Ultra League quite or like these couple of days when your opponent throws. Sometimes you like miss. I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't work sometimes. I don't know. Okay, but yeah, GG to my opponent. Thank you for that. That was a very nice break from all the seriousness. This next match, this final match, is also very interesting. Very interesting. The lead match is a bad one. Alright? Well, I thought it was a bad one. Ice Fang. It's not an Ice Fang. Yes, you see that? Alright, it's a waterfall for Alligator. Ice Fang is definitely the way to go. It beats Giratina. It's actually very tight. I actually stayed in because I wanted to 2-shield it. Alright? Because if you 2-shield it, you come out with like 40, maybe like a little bit less than 40 HP, like 30 something HP, but you can like hit 2 Dragon Claws, he's gonna shield 1, right? And then you just farm down the rest. Question, what if he 2-shields? What if your opponent 2-shields his Feraligatr? The thing is, it's not gonna happen because you get to 2 Dragon Claws. It goes Dragon Claw, Feraligatr gets to throw his charge move, Dragon Claw, and then he gets to throw the crunch that kills you, right? Is your opponent going to double block right away? Is your opponent going to invest right away? I highly doubt, right? So by the time that he realizes that he should have blocked, you're already Dragon Breathing him down, okay? So right here, I get to throw a Dragon Claw, and I threw the Dragon Claw even if it's resisted, because at the time I doubted if I could get to the Shadow Sneak, and I was actually right. So it's kind of like one of those, it's better to have thrown than not. It's better to have acted than not situations. And yeah, chip damage, right? So gonna come out with the Swampert here, and this is a very good situation for me, just as long as it doesn't get multiple boosts. Guys, the Night Slash boost is a very, very powerful boost. It's a +2 to attack, right? It's not gonna be a good situation if it gets multiple boosts. So my prayer every time I see this Pokemon is that it does not boost. That's also the reason why I don't shield until it boosts, okay? Or like until the last moment when I need to shield, all right? Because if it boosts and you shield it like the first couple ones, you're going to regret that you use your shields on the non-boosted Night Slashes, right? Now, unfortunately, Swampert versus Scizor is kind of difficult because of the CMP tie. You always CMP tie. So how do you know if he boosted? Usually Scizor has more attack. Right? So I just tend not to block, but what if he got the boost in between, right? It's difficult to tell unless I guess you have your audio on. I did not have my audio on, all right? I never play with my audio on. But yeah, it goes down. Fantastic. The last Pokemon is... You ever beat somebody with 2 shields and a full Pokemon in the back? GG. GG, alright? Ampharos is actually not a joke in Ultra League. It's actually pretty good. So, the best set that I had with this team is a 4-1, which I easily could have made into a 5 if I just threw the Hydro Cannon at the Togekiss right away. You remember that match with the Charizard with the Dragon Claw, right? The one where I got outplayed. But yeah, I got outplayed, okay? So we still have 3 more sets. I'm gonna show you the scores. This right here is the 3rd set. I got a 2-3, so negative again. I went down 11 points. This is the 4th set. I went positive 3-2 and I gained 12 points. So just making it back. This is the last set and I went 3-2, so generally positive once again, and I went up 13 points. So in total, if you you know, do the math, all right, I went up 35 points with Battle Bill's meta line. So, does it work? Does Battle Bill's meta line work? I would say yes. It's obviously a very solid team because it's a meta line. You have 3 very meta Pokemon and actually arranged in a very strategic way. The one Pokemon that I had a problem with for this lineup is Articuno. Articuno anywhere as the lead, as a swap in, it's just a bad situation, right? You have Articuno plus a Alolan Muck, you're dead. You are absolutely 100% dead, alright? But you know, it is what it is. It's kind of a gamble. Like, Go Battle League is kind of just a roll of the dice. Guys, check out Battle Bill right there. His lineups work. He's got a lot more and you are going to learn a lot from this guy. This guy's good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Remember to leave a like, comment down below which lineup from a content creator should I check out next. Subscribe if you haven't yet, ding that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys!